Hi, y'all. I'm Bill,
I'm Nancy.
and we are the
The
Thin
Thin
Blue
Blue
Lane.
Lane.
Hello, everybody, again. This is Bill from the Thin Blue Lane RV Life. I told you in a previous video that I would go over the RV Trip Wizard, and we're going to go over the RV Trip Wizard now. I'm hoping this works because I've never done this before, but we're going to go over to New Trip. It's going to be, we'll call it Test. It'll be today. We'll use my location. All right, initial trip settings for the test video that I'm doing now. Below information are your default settings. These were pulled from your user settings. You can change any you like for this specific trip. For instance, you've got general. Here you've got your RV name is test. We'll say call it video trip. Notes test video for demonstration. Trip status is active or a tentative trip in this case. Pre-departure email, you can have it send you an email. RV info, we are 13 feet 7 inches high, and I usually just program in 14 feet. I don't want to cut bridges close. We are actually 42 feet. Now, if you count the truck, it's about 50 feet. We do weigh 25,240 pounds. We use diesel. We are carrying propane. Our fuel capacity is 36 gallons, actually 35. We're not going to push that. Fuel reserve is 0. Fuel economy, we do get actually about 9 miles to the gallon. Save the trip settings. And it builds you a trip. Now, what it's done here is it's taken our current location. It is definitely not my current location, but we're more closer to this area right here. But for this purpose, this is fine. What this has done is created a bunch of circles, which are predetermined sets of distances that you're willing to go for your next trip. Each one of these is a campground. I can turn those off. It's a little cloudy. And these are your filters. The filters that I have set here get to show the parks. You zoom in, and there are 4 parks in view, and it tells you what they are and where they are. Um, I personally like the 5-star locations. These are, I think, Campground America locations, and those, if you have a membership to those, you can get those for 50% off when you go. That's not what this video is about, so I'm not confirming that information. What I do like, you can put in park types, commercial and private, national parks, forests, Canadian national parks, BLM and DNR, city parks, Corps of Engineers, TVA, county parks, whatever. You can set these, and it will put them on the map. Or if you don't set them, it won't put them on the map. Park rating, I do like. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, so I'm just going to take it off the screen. Uh, Park features, hookups, and connectivities, amenities. You can put in here, full hookup, 50 amp hookup. You can set all that up. Amenities that you prefer, park pricing, recreation in the area. Points of interest, you can have fuel on the map. Look at them all popping up all over the place. Places that take overnight parking, look at them all. A whole bunch of Walmarts. Rest areas, populate the map. Places to do dump stations, populate the map. Or you can come down here and manually put in like pilots and flying J's and things like that. Super Walmarts, amusement parks, aquariums, dentists, all these different attractions. All of this is fun once you go in here and set all this up. Your low clearance hazard is the only thing I have set up, and that's important to me. But as far as parks are concerned, there's a lot of customizations you can make in here. Of course, if you drop it to 4 stars, more will appear. 3 stars, more will appear. All of them, bunch appear. But you can see the more picky you are, the less there's going to be on the map. I like to keep a clean map. Most thing I'm looking for is the distance I can travel in one day. I already know I'm going to Thousand Trails Parks. You can do map or you can do the satellite view. All right, let's go back to map. Go to driving and routing. Routing and driving. I would like to avoid tolls, avoid ferries, and avoid unpaved roads, at least in my vehicle. Um, Driving time estimates. You can use uh, your average driving speed is 65. I'm actually going to change that to 60. Your driving radius, see here it's set up to 250 miles, 400 miles, or 500 miles. I prefer to set up just one radius, 8 hours a day. And expenses, you can put in your camping costs for the trip, your meals for that trip, miscellaneous expenses, and average cost per gallon. I don't worry about that on here. I have a pretty sophisticated program, which I'll show you in my video about my budget. Save those trip settings. It's going to redo all of this good stuff right here. And now it's got one circle. So say I want to go to Florida. I'm going to be looking for a place to sleep right about here. And once I get there, there'll be another circle that will put me right about here because we're going to Orlando. So say I want to go in this area right here. I'm looking for some place to sleep. 8 hours of driving with a big rig. There's nothing here. So we go a little bit further and we can park in this one, Majestic Oaks RV Resort. It's 549 miles. Click on more details. Look at this. It shows you their phone number, email, website, reviews. Those are reviews from actual campers. A satellite map of the park, the average cost, 95 sites, its elevation, nearby gas prices. This is pretty amazing. Affiliations, this one does have Passport America, which is what I was trying to say earlier. Passport America. Passport America, if you have a membership to those, you can get those parks for half off. I like to stay in Thousand Trails, but there are no Thousand Trails between Texas and Florida. This tells you about some of the features and amenities. I'm not going to go over all of them. It even shows you connectivity, people's reviews, tips and questions and answers, weather. This is pretty powerful software right here. Say you want to go there. It's miles in this leg, 549. You're going to stay there one night. The camping total there, let's just say it's at half price, 20 bucks. Additional comments if you want them. Add it after the last stop. You have options to add it after this one, which is what we're basically saying anyway, and we're going to add it to the trip. Now look what's happened. It routes it out for you, avoiding all of the places that we warned you right here. Hey, time for gas, right in this area. And of course, you know, as I showed you, you can add in fuel stations. So you'd be looking at a gas station right about there, or maybe back here if you want to be more careful. And it highlights all the gas stations, so you don't have to worry about highlighting them individually. Lights them all up. So you know you want to get gas probably if you're in, right about here. You're not going to wait till later and then run out of gas. I would probably on this trip schedule it for this Loves right here. The cool thing about this program, now we're in Majestic Oaks, so we spent one night there. It shows you 549 miles, 9 hour drive, one night, 20 bucks. I believe it'll add in, if you put in your fuel mileage and your cost per gallon average, it will tell you how much it'll add in the fuel cost to get there too, because it knows you need to refuel right here. If there's no refuel, it doesn't add any fuel cost. The next cool thing, say you're going to where we're going, Orlando, Florida. Look at that, Orlando, Florida. It's inside the circle. We can make it all the way to Orlando on our next trip. Close in on this thing. I'm going to get rid of the gas stations because I want to be able to see the parks, all these different parks, and all the information on them is here too, and their affiliations. It's kissing me right there. Clear the filters. It clears all filters. See what everything that's available around here. See this right here? 1,000 trails. That's where I want to go. 3 flags. I believe there's actually, here's one right here. Orlando RV Resort, 1,000 trails. 4 stars. Wouldn't have shown up in a 5-star scan. More details on that one. Again, all the different information. Cost is very low because it's 1,000 trails and we don't pay for our camping. Anybody that's with 1,000 trails knows that. If you happen to be Passport America, you get a discount. And Ready Camp Go, I'm not familiar with them. 1,000 trails. What you're going to do is add that. I'm going to be there 21 days because I get to stay there 21 days at no cost. Now, it does cost about $3 a day if you have 50 amps. I'm a 50 amp RV, so that's what, $63. That's how much it's going to cost me to park there for a month. Add the trip in, boom, now you're here. You've seen how it works. The next time we're going to do any routing will be from this location. We can go down to the Keys, can drive to Cuba. I'm just kidding. You see how the idea is. I'm not going to go into this. You can download this and go over some of this real easy. You can set all these different things to what you want them to be. You don't have to use the choices that I made. Points of interest, show them or don't show them, and show your hazards. Yeah, if I can't get under a bridge, I want to be able to know. See, we're 14 feet tall, and this right here is 13. It's just going to keep shrinking on me. 12 foot 9 inches. We couldn't fit under that. We would never go down this road. Now I have something called Garmin RV770 GPS, and my GPS warns me about bridges that I'm too heavy for, roads I'm too wide for, overpasses that are too short for us. If we're going down the highway and the overpass is too small, it'll ride us off the exit and back on past the bridge. I've seen it work. It works great. I'm not saying it's 100%. You need to do your own verifications when you approach a bridge. You need to make sure you can clear that bridge. And I get 14 feet because I want to make sure that they haven't paved the road and added 2, 3 inches to the road. So I give a little bit of leeway. 14 feet. I'm not going to play around with my very expensive fifth wheel. I hope this helped you guys out. Yeah, if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. But download RV Trip Wizard. I'm not sure how much it costs, but it's not very expensive. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.